Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to substitute essential oils and the vitality oils in place of herbs and seasonings in our food, so when baking and cooking. So if I look at a regular recipe that doesn't know anything about oils and I say, well, I want to make this recipe, but I want to substitute and use my oils instead of these seasonings, how do I know how many drops of oil or toothpick swirls do I need to use instead of that seasoning? So I have this great chart here. It's called How They Measure Up. It's an oil conversion chart. You can kind of see a little bit of what it says there. Okay, so I have this chart here. It's really great. It's a good guide to give you an idea. So for example, basil. So if I'm making an Italian dish and the recipe calls for a teaspoon of basil, so a whole teaspoon is quite a bit of seasoning actually. This says 2 drops of basil. That actually will be very strong. Normally a recipe with basil would say a sprinkling or a dash of basil, or it might say 1/4 teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon. So if I'm using basil, if it says 1/2 teaspoon, I would do 1 drop. But if it says 1/4 teaspoon, then I would go with either 1 or 2 toothpick swirls. So in one of my other videos, I showed you how to do that. You take your toothpick and you swirl it in the bottle, and then you swirl that into the liquids of your recipe. Okay, so that's an example of basil. Now what about peppermint? If I want to make peppermint brownies instead of regular brownies, and then I would just make my brownie mix just like normal, and when I'm all ready for it and all done, everything's mixed, then I would add anywhere from 2 to 5 drops of peppermint, depending on how strong I want it. So 1 batch of brownies, 2 drops gives a little bit of a mint. 3 or 4 drops is a little bit more to my taste. Then the 4 to 5 drop range is very strong mint. So it just depends on what you're wanting and what you like, but that gives you an idea of how to substitute. So I will post some files online that show you what the conversions are that you can actually print out. Thank you.